Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm very happy to have you. My name is Brendan and today I'm going to kick it off with my trade this morning on AMD. I also implemented a new strategy, a new indicator today as well, so I'm going to go over that with you too. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if you take a look here at AMD, you'll notice I've got some more lines and moving averages on here. This morning I was trading with VWAP, did a little bit of research, decided I wanted to try it out, and I went ahead and made some good money on AMD today. Got about almost a 32% return on my trade in just 4 minutes. That's pretty good. That's a good return for day trading. And went really well, went pretty smooth. I'm going to go over some of the changes that are going on with this and some of the things that I had to do that I normally don't do. So right off the bat, I've got after hours activity on. I normally don't trade with that in there, but since I'm trading VWAP, it's a new system. And the thing about this is, outside of what I trade, a lot of traders in this market are using after hours data level and after hours levels of support, the high of the market after hours high, pre-market highs and lows, and then they're using the previous day levels of support and resistance. And not to mention, it all starts from the daily as well. And as you can take a look here, I've got AMD's little channel here marked off, and you can see there's a breakout of AMD, which might lead to some good entries next week. If you can get a tiny little retest and go long, might be something that could play out for AMD. But that's besides that. Yeah, I'm doing something that I normally don't do. I've got the 5-minute chart, and before the market opened, now normally I'm on the flexible grid, but I wanted to go ahead and make sure that this was nice and big and clean for you guys. So I went ahead and marked off my levels. This pre-market at the time, this was the high for an entire 24 hours of AMD. So this was the high previous day pre-market. That was the high at the time, and as you can see, it never got to it, so it remained the high until it got broken over here. So I had that marked off as a level of resistance because price hit it, comes back down and rejects, boom, there's a strong level of resistance. Let's go ahead and mark that off. So I had that marked off. This line here is on the daily chart too. This is what you're seeing on the daily chart. And I had some other levels that were marked too, but I just don't have them marked now. I just deleted them earlier, but I'm not going to go ahead and throw that on there. But it is important, especially if you're going to trade outside of my normal technique, to go ahead and do your technical analysis, your price action, your levels of support and resistance, strong reversals, strong bounces, have those marked off. So this level here, actually, let's go ahead and go over VWAP real quick. I'm just going to do a short little lesson on VWAP. Just keep it simple real quick. I'm not going to go into the details of it. This is the VWAP, this purple line. That's the indicator that I'm trading. This comes with upper and lower bands. As you can see here, this yellow and this pinkish color. They come with lower bands that can also they're similar to Bollinger Bands, but they can work as places to look to take profit, or it's kind of like using the RSI, not the same thing, but they can be levels of support and resistance as well if you want them to be. But the problem is that they do ride, as you can see, they can ride out for a while, but I don't need them there. I can take them off if I want to. I didn't, not a big deal. And I'm using, like I said, RSI. This will tell you when a stock is oversold. when it's been bought too much and it needs a breather at some point, whether it's a small breather like this one and it comes back up, but at some point it needs a breather, it needs a reversal. Okay, and it does here, and that's RSI. Here we're oversold, here we're overbought. Okay, that's a general gist of what I've got going on here. I've also got the 9-day EMA, which is this blue line, and I'm using this as well as crossover confirmation. So when this is above my my VWAP, I do want to, it double confirms my reason to go long on a trade, and vice versa when the blue line is below the VWAP. And the VWAP, the main theory of it is when price is above, you want to look to be bullish, and when price is below, you want to look to be bearish, as a general theory of the VWAP, which is the purple line. So right off the bat, AMD opens on the 5-minute. Keep in mind this is the 5-minute chart. We open here and get a strong push to the top side. Now I'm letting the first 5 minutes go by, as I would if it was the 2-minute. I would let the first 2 minutes go by. If I was on a 1-minute chart, definitely letting the first minute go by. But let your give yourselves a step. Give yourself somewhere to start. Let the first 5 minutes go by. If you're trading on the 10-minute chart, let the first 10 minutes go by. Give yourself something to base your trade off of before you make any moves, okay? Now, we open and we're hitting immediately a level of resistance. Not only that, we've got good volume to start, and we've got AMD pretty tapped out on the RSI here. With that being said, this does not mean there's a trade to go long. Now, normally, if I've got the 20 and the 200 and this price opened above, both strong, look to take out the high. As you can see, this candle breaks the high, look to take out the high, ride it out long. But the problem I'm having with is everything that I use as confirmation, as guides. This 9 is below my VWAP, not a sign to be bullish. Okay, I've got a tapped out RSI. Okay, that's a second sign. And we're sitting right at resistance. That's 3 reasons to not go long on this trade. So I wait. Then almost immediately, boom, look at this. Oh my gosh. This is what is called a 180. This is a pure, powerful, strong reversal to the downside that is eliminating this green bar completely. You had a big green building and it just got absolutely demolished by this giant red candle. Boom! Now, this red candle breaks below a VWAP and it is rejecting our resistance. Here is a good time to go long, or I'm sorry, to short, because majority of your green has already started to get taken out. Okay, and you're oversold, and you've got decent volume, and my 9-day is below VWAP, and price is below VWAP. Oh man, I gotta give this thing a shot, right? Go short. Now, I did not get in early at this time that I wanted to, because I was also looking at all my other charts until I finally looked over at AMD and I said, whoa, destruction. There is violence. Got to get in on this. So I ended up getting in on this tiny little bounce here on this third candle, right? I think I get in like, it had to be like here on AMD, and without hesitation, this thing just comes down hard. Okay, now there's something that needs to be paid attention to, is that pre-market here we've got a level of support. Price comes up, comes down to my 9-day. That's a new level of support because it continued cool. So during regular market hours, I need to pay attention to that. Okay. Might be a good area to look to take profit or to, kill some and keep it running. This thing comes down, it comes down, it comes down. I decide, you know what? If this starts to come down towards this bottom band here, I'm going to go ahead and look to take profit. The way you need to treat levels of support and resistance should not be as an exact. If you're waiting for this to hit it exactly and then kill the entire trade, you've got it wrong. Okay, scale out or kill it near it before you hit, because oftentimes price can come near it and still bounce. It does not have to touch it. It does not have to crack it and then go. So I said I'm going to look to take profit near. And as you can tell, we get a tiny little bounce and then it continues and it still finds its support either way. So that was my trade on AMD. I'm going to go ahead and go over this one more time. Okay, price opens here at 935. We close at the top. We're sitting at a level of resistance based on previous times. We're sitting at resistance. We are oversold on RSI. We've got good volume going. Good volume. My 9 days below. I'm not looking to go long. We got 3 factors that tell me not to go long here. And then we get a bear 180 that breaks through my VWAP. Now this works because my 9 days below and price is below VWAP as well. That also takes up majority. That also wipes out all of green. So if you don't get in on this level, get in at the color game, right? If you're missing the move and you're not jumping in, at least get in when red takes out green. Okay. So my trade was here. I saw it late. My trade was on this candle. And it just immediately comes down. And I am out right at the bottom of that candle. It was a Friday. I didn't want to hold my options any longer than I needed to. So I just kept it at a scalp. 4-minute trade. 31.9% return. Boom. Thank you for watching. I hope to get more videos on here soon. I do want to make sure. I do want to do a lot of live trading. I'll record these live and in the moment. And I like my VWAP system setup that I got going. It went well right at the first crack, right at the first attempt. I'm sure there's going to be times where it doesn't work. That's with everything, every indicator. By the way, I forgot to tell you, stop loss, right? If I'm basing my trade, if I'm getting in here and I'm basing it off of what this candle did, or if I'm basing it off of what this candle did, my stop loss has got to be here or at the top. Okay. If price reverses, comes back up, this trade is done. Kill it. Boom. Okay. So that was my trade today on AMD. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time.